Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So today I'm going to draw Dabi from My Hero Academia. He's the guy with the skin grafts on his chin and just under his eyes and stuff like that. So he's the blue flame character. He's one of the villains in it. So we're going to go right in and we're going to start with his eyes. So what we got to do is find about the middle of your page, come over to the right eye, and we are going to start just with the top of his eyelid. So to begin, we just draw a line, starts about here, and the top of the eyelid will come across diagonal up, just like this. And then you can do the iris and the pupil in under that eye, just right in the middle. One. And then your pupil is in there. So then the eyelid curves down like that, and then comes back around. So we're going to go this way. Keeps going, and it'll curve up, back up here, just like that. And inside here is just darker. You can just color that bit in a bit darker, make the line thicker, curves this way. And then just under that, so we can add maybe the start of that skin graft. So he has these skin grafts underneath. No, we'll leave it. So we'll come back to that in a second. We'll add some lines just for eyelid above. It's probably easier just to do both eyes and then come back and do all the skin stuff. So we're gonna jump over then and we'll do the top of the other eyelid. So it just curves down this way. Just like that. And then we have the iris and the pupil in under there again. There, and we can do the bottom eyelid then. So we curve back underneath like that, and then in there we can make this darker like we did the other side. Just in there's a bit darker. We've a line on the top just to show some skin there. Show some skin, sorry. Show some a line for his eyelid. That. And then of course Dabi has all hair coming down over his forehead, so it just all comes down. Some comes over his eyes here. So now what we'll do is we'll add his hair that just comes across down over his eyes in some parts. So what we'll do is just at the edge of the corner just of his eye, you have a line like that, and you have sort of the same on the other side. And these are the start of hair spikes, so you'll just go up around the eye. Some actually come down past the eye, see that? And then you'll go back up, and these all spike coming up over his eye. He has a bit that comes right down the middle of his face, so it just comes down this way. Comes right down, keeps adding zigzags and spikes all the way down. And then we start to go in between the eyes, it starts to go back up. So we have one that comes down here. And comes back up. And then this will come down past his eye as well, this one. So zigzagging down. Comes back up, and then this one comes down to here where we drew that line. Then his hair comes up, starts to go up this way. So it starts to sort of spike up and go around his head. So we have various lines that start to go this way. So then we'll come back in here and we can do just lines inside for eyebrows. Just in there. So they're like lines for the top of his eyes, his eyebrows and things. You can make these ones thicker because they're supposed to be the eyebrow lines. Just there like that. And now from here, so if the sides of his face come down around from the hair here. So just from here you'll start to come down in an oval shape. Starts to curve down around. Just like that. Down to your standard size chin, just down here. And then his hair comes all the way around. But we'll finish his face first anyway. So his nose is fairly standard. It just has just easy sort of lines for nostrils there. Just like that. I think he has a piercing in his nose. I'm not sure. From what I'm looking at, I think there's a piercing there. So just up here, just on the side of his nose, what looks like a piercing is just here. Just going into the side of that nostril. Correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but there's a thing in the what I'm drawing from, I can see what looks like a piercing anyway. So then we have his mouth. So his mouth just starts with sort of a line across like this and starts to smile up. And then we have the bottom lip just here, comes up like that, and then he has lines for teeth just inside. So he has like just lines for white teeth, goes across and then curves up the other side just there, and this one curves up in here, and we can see some teeth on the bottom. So all you got to do is just make this section just a bit darker, and it'll give you that gap between the teeth. And then we can make the edges of his mouth black, just like that. Now, so what I'm going to do is start adding in those like stitches that keep his face together, it seems like. So he has these sort of brackets that go up the face just here, and they kind of get smaller as they go up towards the ear. They get a little bit smaller each time. And you can do the same on the other side. So we can do one. Let's see, one there. And it goes up towards the ear. So we're just adding these little brackets. Now if you were doing pencil, you could just draw that line straight through those and then rub out after, but I'm using a Sharpie so I can't erase it. So I got to do these first. So we add a curved line here, curved line here, curved line around from there, curved line around there, around there, around there. And we'll do the same on the other side. So we make these look like they're going into his face. That's the idea anyway. There's rumors that Dabi is Todoroki's brother. What do you think about that? That'd be pretty intense. Especially if it was Endeavor was the father of both of them. One more here, I think. Right, so then in between there, we can start adding that weird bumpy sort of line for the bottom half of his face. Just like that. And then just to make it look like it's going into his skin and they're not just sitting on his face, you'll just do some kind of lines coming out of these. Just some sort of fold lines for the skin to actually make it look like they're going into his skin rather than just sitting on top. So then his chin, right, has a few of these coming down the middle as well, right? So do one, there's 4 in what I can see. So 2, 3, no, 4. And then you can just make them curvy and a bit thicker. Ooh. Four, and then there's a line just down the middle, but you'll jump over those because it's behind them. Now, so then this skin has sort of, you know, sort of wrinkle lines all going up it, and it follows the direction of his face each time. So you'll just add loads of these. I'll probably speed this part up. Right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to add the ones that are around his eyes. So same thing, I'm just going to do the stitches first and then I'll do the wrinkly skin parts. So what we're going to do is start by adding these dashes that go around it for the stitches. Maybe one more. You can add as many of these as you want. You can have some artistic license, as they say. And the one here. And then we'll just make them round. Just like that. And then you'll add in just the line in between to show that patch that's underneath his eye. Curving around. And goes back up inside there, and then there's all those wrinkle lines inside. And then we'll go over and we can do the same thing on the other side. So we can draw maybe the starts of that circle and then we start doing the dashes that come the whole way around. Another way of doing it, different to this side, just to change things up, you could jump over your dashes and imagine the thing keeps going. So imagine it's just going around and we have those stitches in between. Like that, and then in here you'll have each of those curvy sort of shapes like that. They're like piercings, but they're just, I think they're just thick stitches really, aren't they? This is, he's quite a detailed character to draw, so I'd say this video will end up being a bit long, so sorry about that. And then again we have all those wrinkles his eye. And you can add, as we did here, you can just add a few lines just to show that these are actually sticking into his skin. But they're actually piercing his skin, you know? That. Give it some texture and things. Maybe make it a bit, add a few more lines inside closer to the nose to make it a bit darker in there. Now, so then we can do his hair while we're here. So we'll finish, that's pretty much the face finish. So we just have to do the hair, the ears. So we have ears that start just here, one there, and then on the other side it comes up this way. And then he has actually piercings on his ears as well. So we'll start by going up, and we'll do those piercings first. These are quite circular looking. There's 4 on each ear. Two, 3, one more, and then the top of his ear, and you can just put a line just to show the ear inside there. And then you add some lines just for bones and ligaments and things. And his ear has those wrinkles on it as well, so those dashes that we did here, this, you'll add into the ear as well. So lots of those texture sort of lines like this. And then we go over and we can do the same for the other ear. We just do the ear up and we meet some piercings. Like this, curvy lines. 2. And then we can add some of those texture lines as well inside that ear, wherever you can see. Like that. Now, so then we'll do the hair the rest of the way going around his head. So, quite spiky, zigzag sort of hair. Start from the ear, and it goes the whole way around. So it goes around in a circular fashion. If you wanted to draw a circle to help guide you first, you could. But we just start zigzagging all the way up the head. Don't have to be too precious about it. His hair is kind of like fire. Starts to go all the way up. Spike in. And then start to come down this side. And of course his hair is all just black. In the manga anyway. I think it is in the anime too. So we're zigzagging all the way down. Back to where we were. Just down here. Now, so we're on to his neck. We're getting there. Much more detailed character than I thought. Surprised. You never, no matter how much you draw, you still get surprised. So his neck. So we have a line coming down for the outside of the neck, just there. And we can do, he's kind of leaning sort of this way. So that means there's more of a curve on this part of the neck. So it kind of goes, so it's like that one goes that way, and then this one will curve a bit more down towards the shoulder, just there. Kind of gives him the cool sort of attitude he has. Yeah, it's like, what'd you say? So we have just a line there, and then these will meet his jacket. So I'll just add one more line there for neck, and then he has a high collar on both sides. So this will come out from there, come down. This one will go that way beside it, and then we'll start to travel in, diagonal in, towards the inside of his jacket. So this will go the whole way down, curving an S sort of way off the page there. And then this one will have a top to it, and this one will curve, follow that line, and join it down here. And then you can do a line just for shoulder, just there. Of course, this skin is all wrinkly and it has piercings on the top of his chest as well. So we'll go over and we'll do the top of his collar over this side. So it just starts underneath his ear there. And it's going to curve around, come down to here. And we got to do the inside of it. So curve around it, follow the same sort of shape. Just like that. And then this will start to come in towards the bottom of his jacket, all the way down, just like that. And then we'll finish the shoulders, and then we'll do the skin inside there. So shoulder will come down from, let's see, from here on this side, and then from here on this side. So we have sort of folds on the top of his clothes. He is a cool character design though, I must say. He looks pretty decent when you draw him. So shoulders come down. He's got like, there's like a cloud of smoke in what you could leave it out if you wanted. I'm going to put it in because I'm a rebel. Cloud of rebel, putting clouds of smoke, yeah. Anyway, here, sorry, cloud of smoke. And then the shoulder will travel down underneath that. So we'll just come down that way. And then on the other side, we just have, because this shoulder is higher than this because he's leaning. So we have, his torso is twisted kind of this way. That's why his neck is sort of more bent on that side. There's another little piece of smoke just here. Just there like that. And then we have, so his collarbone, so inside the jacket, we'll do his collarbone. So this one comes down to there, and then we have just some bumps just to show that collarbone. And again, he's tilted, so this one will be higher. So to make it look a bit more anatomically correct, you should put it just a little bit higher. Just like that. Then he has skin that is stitched down here. So I'll do the stitches first. And these ones seem to be bigger than the ones on his face. I apologize if I got my head into the shot. I don't mean to do that. Just there. And then we'll do a line for the skin. So, just there. And then we can see it's like a t-shirt he's wearing underneath his jacket, so we can just see lines for that down here. just some lines for chest muscles. So then in here then is, he's a shadow under his neck, and then this is all textured skin like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but you're just following the same sort of pattern that I did in the face. So I'll probably speed that up to try and keep the video a bit shorter. So I'll do the shadow just underneath his chin, just here. So it's just the dark section. And then I'm going to add those texture lines that are all on his skin. Okay, so there we go. Dabi from My Hero Academia. Really, really cool character. Really cool design. Took a lot longer than I thought, but there he is anyway. Thanks for watching as usual, guys. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.